everybody, and welcome back to more Dicing with Death. So, Fenric, why don't we dole out some experience? You got some experience last. You're muted.
Am I still
Nope.
muted?
No. Okay, there we go. We're good now.
I was muted while I was chewing. I didn't want to.
It's nice of you.
Spare your eardrums.
So
yeah, do experience for.
when did you get experience last?
I got experience for the Yetis. I haven't. I don't. I mean, I got my
Okay.
ass kicked by the ice crystal, so I don't get experience for that.
Right.
I got knocked out in the wizard fight, so I probably don't get
No,
experience for
I would
that.
give you experience for the wizard fight because you guys still did win, and you killed 2 people with your spell.
You told me 3. You said he had 2 bodyguards, or at least that's
Yeah.
what they said in court.
No. Rockbreaker killed the other one. I guess you guys killed 3 creatures.
Okay.
Let's see.
And translating a spell, we had talked
Well,
about
also
getting experience for doing that.
I'm going to say the way that you learned read magic is worth some experience.
No, yeah.
Okay.
Granny sex. Asks Miam in chat. Does that count as defeating her in combat?
Or defeating who in combat?
The old crone, Madam.
I wouldn't say you defeated her in combat.
Madam Haven. Did she defeat me in combat? Who got experience for that encounter?
I don't. I think that was a mutual benefit, mutual exchange of experience. It was a trade. So that makes. Let's just round that to. I guess you're not splitting this with anyone. Oh, you split this with Rockbreaker. Okay. Divided by 2, and then let's add. Learning that spell was definitely a new experience. I probably won't give you experience for learning things in that way again, but if it happens. And then you translated how many first and second level spells? 1, 2,
I don't know.
3, 4,
I wasn't
5,
keeping
6,
track.
7 first level spells. No, wait, this is the wrong book. I'm going to give you experience for actually learning spells as well, not just translating, but 1, 2, 3, 4,
Okay.
5.
So I only
6,
learned Magic Missile
10,
and
11 first level spells. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 second level spells. Okay, and then you actually learned
Magic Missile and Web.
Magic Missile.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So.
And I wish to memorize Change Self, Magic Missile, and Hall's Reckless Dweemer, Harung's Baneful Deflector, and Web. Oh, it's Harung's Baneful Deflector that needs the Quartz Prisms, not the.
Okay, cool.
Not the Chaos Shield. I hope Chaos Shield didn't have material components. I don't think it does. No, Somatic Burble. Okay, so there was no material component to Chaos Shield.
Okay, so I will add these 2 together, and you have. Fuck.
What's that?
I lost my calculations. Because you can't undo things on a calculator, and I hit a weird button. Now I have no idea where we are. It was. Fuck. What was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Plus 1. That's 5, 10, 11. Okay, there we go. Now add that to this. You get, and times 10%, times 1.1. There we go. With your 10%, you gain 990 experience. Oh, no, fuck. No, that's not it. It's, I forgot the learning experience from the crone, too.
The learning experience, is that what we're calling it?
We're calling it a learning experience. And you did some lawyering and arguing when you went to jail. Very little. Just give you
Yeah.
100 of that. So,
I sort of expected justice to be served.
all right. Now that
And
times
I think it
1.1.
was. I'm sort of
1,375. Yeah, you've paid for your
1,375.
crimes, and I think that justice was done properly there.
All right. So 5,398 plus 1,375 is 6,773.
Yes, sir.
Still a long way from level 4 with not a lot of hit points.
Well,
And yeah. So I guess the week is up, right?
hmm
I'll have memorized. Did I tell you what I memorized? I
yeah.
can't remember. Okay.
Just as long as you
Yeah.
have it written down, we'll be fine. Because I
Yes,
never
I do.
remember.
Changed it on my character sheet. Spoilers.
Oh no.
Behind the DM screen.
Dun, dun, dun.
He doesn't know what your character is doing.
I make all my other PCs and my other campaigns write down and send it to me every time that they memorize
I
spells.
uploaded or I updated. I've got a PDF version of my character sheet that I change as I go. So like as I take wounds and stuff.
hmm
But
Okay, so we
the
are.
DM doesn't care apparently. I should just be magically healing myself throughout the course of our adventures.
That would be dishonest. That would be as dishonest as fudging your rolls. So I trust that you will not do that.
All right. So what am I going to do at the end of this week? There's no, I mean, it's basically going to be, is it a cleared lot at this point? Like they've
Yeah,
just
it's a
like
cleared
taken away
lot.
the
It's
rubble.
ready to be
Groundbreaking, only I don't got any money.
right.
This is probably the day before
The innkeeper
finished
has
up.
some money, so he is, setting everything up. He's got your plans. It's kind of at this point, almost it will go on its own. They'll
Mhm.
need you for the final touchings and building of the actual pump mechanism, but they can
Mhm.
build the inn with the plans you've given them. You just need to provide the money. And the innkeeper has enough to get it started, but he will need you to finish the job.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll probably hang around through groundbreaking and see what happens. So that'll be the end of my inn stay, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and the end of the week of rubble clearing. And I haven't thought of a way to make up any money. I'm contemplating just changing self and skipping town and checking in later.
Okay. Well,
We'll see how the innkeeper feels on like the.
We'll come back
the
to.
spot.
Let's actually start the day. So, what do you do at the very beginning of the day? What is the first thing you do?
I memorized the spells that I previously mentioned.
Okay.
Pack up my shit and depart.
Okay. Give me a saving throw versus spell, please.
Well then, I think I've had to roll one mysterious spell save before. Pass. 19
Okay.
is a pass.
It is a pass.
And both time, I think the first time I failed. And
No,
I
the
don't
first
know
time you. I don't remember. I remember the outcome, but I don't remember if that was a pass or a fail.
Oh my goodness. All right,
It's fine. Don't. It's totally internally consistent.
sure. All right. So I resist whatever sorcery was trying to take hold of me.
Something along those lines, maybe.
Depart this tavern that I've been holed up in for about a week,
Big
researching the
bushy red
spell.
beard now.
Definitely not the hot young vixen that booked the room, but I try to like just distance myself between the room as quickly as like I open the door quietly, make sure there's no one around.
Yeah, and you walk out, and the innkeeper doesn't know
scamper
if
out.
like you were a guest that came in earlier or something.
And I just get lost.
Okay. You proceed out into the town.
I've probably been well. Maybe I haven't seen the. No, I probably haven't shown my face to the innkeeper that I owe money to in the few days since.
No.
So I'll turn up. So this will be the last day of
Okay.
rubble cleanup. So I show up to the site of the burned down tavern.
Right. And he looks at you and goes, "Do I know you?" Do I know you?
Do I look? I was not. I was expecting to be recognized, and it's shocking me a little bit that he didn't. I mean, I haven't. I don't think my hair magically grew. When I aged 5 years? Did my hair magically grow as if I had aged, or do I just like
I mean,
get a little more
you've had
wrinkled
an
and
extra week
grizzled?
of beard growth. Your face has changed in shape. It's pretty. I mean, it's enough that he doesn't seem to recognize you. What do you do?
I turn around and walk away if I can. Yeah, if I can play it off. Like, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
still wearing the same equipment. I've still got the same equipment. My sword still bulges awkwardly, but it's not revealed, or I mean, it's underneath my robe. Sorry. I mean, I just walk away, pretend like I was just an absent-minded
All right.
goofball eyeing his burned down or eyeing his empty lot.
Okay. He scratches his head as you turn and walk away, but doesn't pursue after you.
I think I can just leave, and I mean, like, and I'm rationalizing it. Like, I mean, I just invented this awesome new thing for his bar. He should be paying me money, and I'm probably
All
thinking
right.
this as I'm making my way towards the north exit of town. Is this a walled city?
This is not a walled city, but you have
So
heard
I can just,
rumors that Keygate to the north is. I mean, there's
yeah,
still like an archway that people pass through that's ceremonial, and there are constables at the gates at on the ends of the road, but it's not like
all
you
right.
can
I'm
just
gonna
walk around.
cast my change self. 14.
Is
Is
not
that
a
a
surge.
not
12
a
is your magic
surge?
number.
Okay. It doesn't. I disguise myself as just an ordinary peasant. Make myself a
Okay.
little shorter than average and look, yeah,
Okay. You
the
walk out
kind
of
of
town.
nobody that a town's guard doesn't give a shit about. And I just walk right on past him out of town
You do so.
with all
You
of my
find
equipment
yourself
concealed.
on the edge of Ansdreth,
Yeah,
headed
and
northward.
some number of minutes later, I turn back to my regular self, but
Hmm.
I have all my equipment.
Yeah.
I'm traveling north. I'll
The
hire, yeah, in search of riches at the maw. Hopefully,
the
hiring some
road
mercenaries when
is
I get there.
kind of brutal. In the weeks that you've spent inside, the weeks in jail and the weeks here, the snow just continued to fall. There seems to be somewhat of a path, so the road must still be used somewhat, but it is like chest high off of the path, and in the path it's like waist high. So it's just a brutal like march and trudge through the snow. I need you to give me a couple of constitution checks.
Ouch. All right. Yeah, I don't think I have really any ways to make my travel any easier. So let's roll those Constitution checks. D20 plus Constitution is 11. 7. Nope. I failed the first.
Oof. Okay, give me two more, please.
So does that like slow my going, the first one that I fail, or is it
Yeah,
like
the first one you fail, it just you get chilled to the bone early on, and your pace slows down. If
yeah.
you, depending on how many of these you fail,
How long after I left town was this?
this is in the first 3 hours.
Okay, so I have already set off.
Yeah,
I realize that I've warm weather, but I didn't stock food.
yeah,
I was expecting to make Keygate in one day.
and
All
the
right,
snow is thicker and deeper than you expected, and the
all right.
path is poorly marked.
So I'm just slowed at this point. I'll probably stop and make camp before I let myself wear down to exhaustion. Right. So
Hmm.
I'll give up and start a fire before I wear myself out.
Hmm.
So I don't. So is one just. So should I roll a second Constitution check?
Please do.
I'm still traveling. Oh, okay. That's where I
Okay.
stop.
So you make a bit of a fire and get it going, but you're exhausted and you're tired. Snow's been piling up around you.
Can I find trees
I
near
mean, yeah,
around?
you find a spot to make it your fire against. You don't just like do it in the middle of the road. You dig out a little area next to a tree, use your sword, chop off some branches, get a little thing
Exactly.
going. But you are overcome with exhaustion and you fall asleep.
Shit.
You wake
So
up.
I'm not trying to sleep. So I think as soon as as
Right.
soon as I gain any bit of consciousness, I'll probably get up and be like, fuck, 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 I fell asleep.
Yeah. You
Hopefully
wake
before
up
something finds me.
and it is dark out. You are covered in frost and you are chilled to the bone to the point of shaking.
Is my fire gone out?
Yeah, the sword like fell out of your hand, just resting at your feet.
I probably set wood on fire, but I
But
guess
at
it's
this point,
cold.
the wood
Too
has
late.
burned out. Yes.
Has the snow let up at all?
I mean, the snow's just been gently falling for days, but it leaves you with a lot of snow piled up. So it's pretty deep out there. The air is still and quiet. Um, Occasionally, off in the distance, you'll hear a bird taking off or some snow plumping down, but it's just deathly still out. The moon is rising over the pitch black sky of the winter.
Is it winter in all your campaigns?
In two of them.
So I'm going to keep the sword drawn and probably keep moving to try and stay warm. So I guess let's have out the constitution checks again. I don't know what kind of rest that counted as. I'm not going to try and memorize any new
No
spells or
rest,
anything.
yeah. All right, so you keep making trudging through the snow. Give me another con check.
I've got my sword drawn and I'm hacking the snow away in front of me as I go.
All right, well that won't help much, but the sword drawn will at least keep you warmer than
Yeah.
before. You make it a little bit further through the snow. No, you're not slowed or anything like that. Well, I mean, we're gonna say 50% movement rate, but you can still take all your actions around. Okay. As you push your way through the night, the moon rises well above you. It's almost completely full at this point, and you hear this crunch of snow
Coming from, I whirl around. How much my sword makes how much of a light radius?
30 feet of bright light, 30 feet of dim light.
Okay, so I'm using it as a torch.
Right. You hold it high and
hand.
gaze through. Give me a perception check.
D20 plus 12. Oh god, nope. Surprise.
You spin around in the snow trying to see what it is, but all you can see are the shadows of the trees cast by your torchlight, or the glistening fields to your left, because on the left side of the path is the plains and on the right side of the path is the forest. So to the left it's just like bright shining light reflecting off the snowfields and darkness.
So if I get jumped, I guess it happens now. Otherwise, I would like to listen more carefully to the crunching if I have time. I don't know. Is it initiative yet, or
no? What was your perception roll? Was a 1? That's right. Okay, so after a little bit of crunching, it stops, and you hear a voice coming from the forest somewhere. It echoes out, "Who goes there?"
It sounds humanish.
Humanish, humanoidish, something with a good accent, maybe.
I am Fenric the Wild. Who goes there? I start. I'm gonna start trying to. I'm gonna light my lamp.
Okay.
Light the wick on my lamp or whatever, and get it loaded up, and sheathe my sword if I can.
It's not a problem. Your lamp lights up. You sheathe your sword, and the voice says, "No one travels these roads anymore, especially at night. What brings you out here?"
Is he? It's this. The speaker still has not stepped into my light radius.
Right.
A little bit of snow never stopped me. I go where I will. I should ask you the same question.
I live out here. Hunting's been a little bit light, so I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave what money you have and keep moving on.
You're a hunter, you say?
Yes, I was.
Does that mean you don't have any meat for sale?
It means I'm resorting to stealing money off of you to feed myself.
All right, I'm gonna cast Harung's Baneful Deflector.
Okay.
Do you want me to roll initiative?
You just start chanting the spell, and he says, "Hey
I pull out my small prism. RD20 for Wild Surge is an 11, which is nothing.
Okay.
All right. So so 2 rounds per level. It'll be 6 rounds.
Okay.
And I guess it's okay. The caster designates the position of the shell, protecting the front, rear, side, or top. So I'm going to put it at the front, whatever side I can hear. I'm facing whichever direction the voice is coming from.
Okay. He
And the
goes at the
shield
very
is
end of the round after your spell goes off because he was a little surprised and taken aback, but not a full round surprised. And hurls a hand axe at you.
okay.
What does your spell do?
Yeah. So should we roll initiative, or is this the same round?
This is the
that I
same round. You just
got off?
automatically lost.
Let's look up. This description gets cut off, so let me actually look up the.
Okay. Page 21. Tome of Magic.
Whenever an individual missile attack is directed at a protected creature, the Baneful Deflector activates. Instead of striking the creature, the missile's target is determined randomly among all creatures within a 15-foot hemisphere. Oh shit! If the new target is no target, okay. If the new target is beyond the range of the missile, no target is hit. So if he's not within 15 feet, it just redirects the missile to nothing.
Really?
Right? I don't know. Let me make sure there's no save or anything.
It makes it sound like if you're the only person there, it's only going to, like, it won't work if you're just by yourself.
Instead of striking the target creature, the
missile target is determined randomly among all creatures within.
Okay, I guess you're right. If he's not within 15 feet, so then on my turn, I probably would have charged him if I could. Or I mean, I'm probably running towards him.
You don't know where he is then.
Yeah, so I'm running towards his voice.
All right, then we should roll initiative if you're charging at him, not charging at the darkness.
Yeah.
Okay.
D10 plus. I don't know if it's trudging through the snow at the darkness.
Right. I wouldn't give you charging bonuses. That's a D20. Oh no, that was for the other thing. All right,
so 7.
You go first. You trudge through the snow towards the sound of the voice, and see a hunter in leather jerkins, pants, a bandana with some feathers in it, a couple of spears over his back, and a hand axe in his hand. Or he's pulling a hand axe out of his belt as you trudge up to him.
So I stop like 10 feet away from him, probably finish casting the spell. I'm uttering these arcane words. I produce the prism, which disappears, and a shimmering shield appears in front of me.
Okay. He
chucks the hand axe.
His axe at you.
At himself. No, roll 1d2 to see which of us it hits, I think.
Right. Okay, it does go at you. But with a 2, it flies over your shoulder, and you hear a soft as it hits the snow. Initiative.
Dumb hunter. Okay. RD10. I guess I'll cast sleep. Casting time 1. 9. Shit.
He goes first. He pulls a spear out and spears you. Except he doesn't.
Closes?
Yeah, he closes the remaining 5 feet and goes to stab at you with his spear. You step to the side or just kind of waver in the casting of your spell as it misses, and you get sleep off.
Yeah, so let's roll a wild surge, but then he probably just falls asleep. 2, so it's not very long, but it doesn't matter.
Does he get
5 rounds. I think if he's below a certain number of saving throw, none. I think it's just by hit dice.
No, just no saving throw at all. Okay, cool.
Hold on.
He passes out.
Yeah, 2d4 hit. Do you want me to? I'll roll 2d4, I guess. But
do it. But I doubt you will.
7 hit dice. So maybe I accidentally sleep some animals nearby.
Yeah.
If I do, I probably want to find them and eat them.
Well, it would start with the lowest hit die creatures, so they would be hit first anyway.
So does a bird fall from the sky?
No birds fall from the sky.
All right. I'm going to go check his body, I guess. He probably doesn't have any valuables, huh?
You check his body, and his cloak is just wafer thin. His pockets are empty. He looks a little malnourished.
All right. I'm going to slip... You know what? Fuck it. This guy tried to kill me. I'm going to just stick his own spear through his coat into the snow, leave him passed out in the cold by himself,
Okay.
and try to put some distance between myself and him over the next couple of minutes.
All right. Um, give me a Constitution check. Your last Constitution check.
19.
Oof.
Nope. I think at this point, I hope I'm close enough to Keygate to just trudge onward.
It's
So
the
this
sort
is
of thing where it's darkness. You have no idea. You've never been to Keygate before. You don't really know how far it is. You're going
these are
slowly. You don't know how long you've slept. You have no
yeah,
idea. Like it's just endless darkness and forest in front of you.
yeah, but these are Constitution checks. So this is like my body failing me. Not. I
Right.
assume I'm still on the road,
You assume you're
or on
still
the
on the
right
road,
direction.
but you make it to the gate at daylight. By the time the sun starts to come up, you see the gate in front of you. Keygate is a strange city. It has a
I would have
very
pulled out my sword at some point during the journey, I guess, to keep warm.
yeah.
Again, yeah.
Keygate is a strange city. As the sun comes up and you see it off in the distance, maybe a mile ahead of you, you notice that there is a large wall on the side that faces the swamp, and
Mm-hmm.
then the wall just kind of tapers off to nothingness on the backside. The road still goes through the gate, but if you just go around to the backside of Keygate, then you could walk right in. There's no wall there. It seems to be only formed against the front. It stands
Mm-hmm.
40 feet tall, and it looks quite thick at the swamp side. You make it to the gate, but collapse just about there, shivering and shaking. I mean, you didn't have any food. You had no rations. You were
Shit. Yeah, you're right.
basically
That was like
starving, and
the
you
day.
you collapse in the gate.
I mean, it was probably 2 days at the most without food.
Yeah, but in
Still,
that
it was cold.
freezing snow, you
Yeah.
burned so many calories, and
Yeah.
you slept in the snow for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was pretty rough.
it's brutal.
Are there any people around? Like, is there someone I can flag down for help, or
Yeah,
is
I
it?
mean, like you come stumbling in towards the gate, and as you get there, you just kind of like collapse in the
I thought there
snow.
wasn't a gate. The gate was on the other side.
All right, maybe
The
let's
gate was facing the swamp. I'm approaching the south
yeah,
from the
yeah,
south.
let's take a look on the map.
Or did I come from the forest a little bit?
I will doodle for us. I do ever so love the doodles.
Yeah, we haven't doodled this episode yet. We still got Yetis on screen. Oh,
Yeah.
they're gone.
All right, so Keygate is up here. I should remove these things from the other layer. There we go. Keygate's up there. Ansdreth is here, and the swamp is this other thingy over here, like that.
Mm-hmm.
So the wall around Keygate stretches like this, and it's thicker up front,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm doodling. But there's still wall on this side, so there is still a gate that you pass through, but you could like walk off it and go around to the backside if
Okay.
you wanted.
If you
This
go
is
out in like,
all
the hinterlands, they've got like farms behind the
yeah, this is
wall.
all like farmland out here, or it was
But
before.
there is a wall there is a gate on the road.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
which is, yeah. Okay. So I stagger in. Is the gate open or closed?
Their gate is open. You stagger in and collapse, and your last vision is of people rushing to your side. You
Yeah.
awaken in a warm tavern room. You don't know how long you've been asleep. You don't really know where you are. It's not very
Sweet.
bright.
All right. Is all my shit still there?
You kind of come to and look around. You see that you are actually resting on your pack.
Okay.
Um,
Is this gaudy short sword at my waist still attached?
yes.
Am I serious? Okay. I think I would just call the episode right there. Be like, Neil, I'm literally gonna burn down your entire town. We just need to.
Imagine how I felt
wrap
when
it
you
up.
took blood letter
Blood
from me.
letter. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you know how salty I couldn't handle that shit, man. We did end the episode right there.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Um,
So I don't need to subtract anything from my character sheet.
no, you wake up in an inn room. It is hot and humid, or maybe that's just maybe you're just feverish. and sick.
Fever.
It's kind of dim, and you feel dizzy. And as you come to and kind of like stir, a woman comes over to you. She has kind of a soft skin, kind eyes, short brownish hair. Well, I mean, short like bangs and hair that kind of comes down to her shoulders. And she leans in and says, "Hey, Mister, are you okay? Are you right there?"
Oh, water,
She
food.
hands you a
Oh,
glass of water that's sitting on a
where
table
am
near.
I?
You're in the Baneful Fire.
Baleful fire. And who are you?
My name is Crystal.
Crystal.
No, I
Is
hate that
this?
name. Um, I really don't like that name. Caitlin. We can do Caitlin.
Caitlin. Is this your uh, tavern? Your baleful fire?
It is my grandmother's.
Well,
You were found in the snow as if you've been walking all night. You should probably rest here for a little bit.
yes, I shall. Is my coin purse still at my side?
It is.
I fish her out a gold coin and say, "See that this gets to your grandfather. I thank you for the hospitality."
Oh,
And I
poor
give her a
feverish lad.
wink and
Grandmother. She pats you on the forehead and goes off. Eventually, someone comes who turns out to be her brother, and he helps you to your room.
oh, I'm not even in a
No,
private room.
you're
I'm
like
just like
on
in
the floor in
on the
front of the
floor of a
fire.
tavern.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
So I stumble to my feet and get helped into a tavern room
yeah.
where I immediately go to sleep and
Okay.
probably wake up to find cold food that they had
You
delivered hour before.
you are sick. You have a pretty bad cold, like pneumonia level cold. So I need you to give me a system shock check, Ryan.
System shock or what? Or that's usually like to prevent getting polymorphed or some shit. All right, my
Uh,
system shock is 75.
yeah, I think. Hold on. It's system shock, and what's the other one?
Resurrection survival.
Yeah, okay, yeah. System shock.
It's
That's the
definitely
one.
system shock.
75 or lower.
Yeah, I pass.
Okay. You do survive. Thank God.
If I had failed that, you would have killed me.
I wasn't sure. It's one of those moments where I'd be like, "Is there anything I can do but kill him?" And I would try and find a way around it, but I might have. You spend 5 days feverish in bed, unable to really do anything. A doctor comes and helps you through it, but it is not. He pretty much just like leeches you and puts water on your forehead, and it doesn't do anything.
I'd
In fact,
probably
my
try and shoo him off.
yeah.
And I just recover naturally as best I can.
But you now owe the inn a pretty penny because they put you up in a slightly nicer room since it was what was available, and the doctor said you
Yeah,
needed like actual rest.
yeah.
So that is 5 times, let's say 12 silver for this. So you owe 60 silver, 6 gold to these
Including the
people.
one or in addition to the
No,
one I gave?
without that one. So you owe 5 gold.
Are you? Do you can't? There's no way you can know my character sheet. That is exactly how many gold coins I have.
I have no idea how much gold coins you have. This is
I
simply a
still have 15
coincidence.
silver and 50 copper, but I'm pretty much broke.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm already in. I mean, I'm in debt, but my liquid assets are pretty much spent.
Okay.
There's no way I can hire mercenaries here in Keygate.
Nope. But here you
Um,
are. You eventually manage to get your shit together. Crystal helps you through, or not Crystal, fucking, what's her name? Caitlin. Caitlin helps you through. I gotta find a new name. I don't like either of these.
I can just kill her for you.
Would
Does
you?
that help?
That would help.
I can just burn down her inn. That can be arranged.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll rememorize the same round of spells at some point during that 5-day coma.
Yeah.
Probably just me feverish in bed. So I mean, at some point I was able to memorize a spell or two. Change Self, Magic Missile, Mahal's Reckless Dreamer, Harung's Baneful Deflector, and Web.
Hmm.
And so we're in Keygate. I mean,
You
I
are in
guess when I'm
Keygate. When you leave the The room you come into or when you leave the tavern, you come into a very bustling city. It is the first proper city you've been in since you left Swampside. No, I guess you were in whatever that other place is.
Elmstead.
Yeah, you
Elmstead
were in
is pretty
Elmstead.
big.
Elmstead's a real
Elmstead,
city. Okay,
yeah.
but this is still a pretty decent city. It's very industrious. All the snow in the streets has been cleared, and it seems like all the people who used to, be tending crops are now being paid by the city to haul away snow and shovel things. It looks like the economy here is good, and the system that is at power is fiscally responsible as they can employ the local
Snow
populace.
farming.
You also see an unusual number of soldiers about. Instead of like 0.2% of the population or 0.02% of the population being law enforcement, this looks like it's 1 or 2%. Is it 0.2? I think it's 0.2, not 0.02. 0.02 in modern era, but
It depends what you. I mean, now we have a absurdly low number of law enforcement officers. I
yeah,
think, compared to like historically. I
yeah.
mean,
I think it's 0.02
depends
currently,
what you're
but
basing it off of.
historically it is 0.2.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I
so
would
instead
imagine.
of being 0.2%, it looks like it's 1% of the population. So it's like 5 times as many soldiers moving
But they're
about.
probably they're probably armed farmers, right?
No, no, these guys
They,
look like legit soldiers. They have mostly leather armor and spears and bows. Lots of spears, lots of bows. Very few other things. As you walk around, you'll notice a couple of guys hanging out like on their breaks, chatting at local places, getting some food or whatever, that have halberds. But you don't see anyone with spears or clubs or maces. It's almost all. Or, I'm sorry, you do see spears, but no swords, clubs, or maces. It's all bows, spears, and halberds.
are they uniformed?
Yes. Their colors are green and red, but they don't look Christmassy.
All right. I'll steer clear of the guards. I mean, I don't want to start any trouble. But I note the increased law enforcement presence here. I'm going to scope out the swamp gate, I guess.
Okay. You make your way to the north of town and come across the gate. It is a large gate. It's about 15 feet across, 10 feet tall. There's big metal portcullis going down the middle of it, and there are plenty of guards on the inside, but they are just kind of chilling, chatting with each other. Seems like they're not too concerned with what is beyond.
Did I roll that system shock because I got magically aged? We probably should have rolled it when I got magically aged. I think that's what you're
This
supposed.
was a slightly different magical aging process, unlike haste or something.
Yeah.
This was not so
Anyways.
much magically aging as it was like sucking out your life force. Slightly different.
All right. Okay. So the gate is open, you said?
No, the gate is shut. There are plenty of soldiers standing around and chatting.
All right. I'll approach from the inside.
Okay.
And talk to one of the soldiers.
All right.
Um,
He comes up to you and goes, well, what do you need?
I'm new to town. I say coming in from the south. You getting any traffic from across the mall?
All right. Same as usual, actually. Maybe a little bit more.
Really?
Appears the swamp is warm enough that it keeps the snow clear in it. So it's not too difficult to travel through, and we got plenty of laborers and soldiers. We go out and clear the path through the forest every day or so.
Why does the gate stay closed then?
Oh, occasionally you get random beasts that come out from inside, and we don't often get too much traffic through the mall anyway. I mean, usually a group of people will come through every 4 or 5 days. It's dangerous, real dangerous going through there. All the carts usually pile up together with a bunch of bodyguards, so keep the gate closed. If someone wants to come through, we'll open it. He seems like he's given this speech like 100 times to people who come through the area.
Yeah. When do I see any carts assembled by the gate?
No.
When do the caravans usually leave?
Every few days, 4 or 5, depending on what people need. Should be one leaving in 2 or 3 days from now.
2 or 3 days. I scratch my.
You looking to go to the other
beard.
side?
Mayhaps. And I absentmindedly wander off. Oh, thank you for your time, sir. And I give him like a salute or whatever, and walk off. scheming. So maybe I'll just join up with this caravan and see what the maw of the marsh is like. Even anything's a
Interesting
nice
idea.
relief from this god awful snow. So I will buy some rations. I think probably another night in an inn. I better get some epic loot in the maw, otherwise it's gonna get bad. I'll have to start whoring out my magical abilities and rolling those wild surges for cash.
Watch the amazing Fenric as he creates the most magical illusions. And you just cast Nahal's Reckless Dreamer over and over again.
Yep. Until I blow myself up with a fireball.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's... Okay, what are rations? Run. I am trying to find rations. Remember what
One
they
gold
cost?
for a day.
1 gold a day. Fuck.
Yeah, they're
Don't even
expensive.
don't even have the money for real rations. All right, I'll buy 1 day's worth of rations. One in room and buy food. I'm hoping that I come up
What's
on
with the days of rations? Why do you need that?
in case I need to eat out in the cold.
Okay.
I mean, I'm out of rations, and
All right, you buy a day's worth of rations, you get an inn for the night, and what do you're going to wait the 2 days?
How much does the inn cost? Yeah, I'll go with the
silver.
caravan.
For food and inn.
6.
The caravan
Alright.
does leave in 2 days,
Hold on.
so
Okay, so 10 of that is copper. God, 2 days?
yeah.
I'm
Can you afford an inn and food for 2 days?
I can't for the next day. I'm gonna have to lower my.
I mean, you could lower your standard of living and like sleep in a flop house.
Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna have to do the night before the caravan leaves, I guess.
Okay. You're all rested up, but you are dirty.
How much does the flop house cost?
Including food, 3 silver.
All right, so I have 10 copper. This is and I still owe 150 gold to that
Did you give him
that
50 gold?
innkeeper. I gave him none. Oh no! I guess
You owe him
100.
250 gold.
Okay, 250 gold.
Like
And
it's
Rockbreaker,
248
probably some
gold,
money as
but
well.
whatever. Yeah.
10 copper to my name, and I guess I'm at the gates of Keyate.
You
waiting
are
for
dirty. You are flea bitten.
one night in a flop house and I get bitten by fleas.
Yeah, well, sometimes it happens, man. I got bitten by fleas at the dojo all summer long, man. These little bastards
Why
are
were you
everywhere.
sleeping at the dojo?
I wasn't, but just, you know. Anyway. You make it out into the swamp with the rest of the party. Oh, I'm sorry. Before you do that, some guy sees you joining and is like, "Oh, joining up with us, are you? That'll be a few silver, 2 per head. See just one of you here."
Oh, I'm getting paid to accompany you? This is good news.
No. If you want our protection, chip in for the mercenaries.
I extend a filthy hand to him, and I say, you may not have heard of me. My name is Fenric the Wild. I happen to be traveling north, and I will be gracing you with my protection on your journey.
Your protection. You don't
Indeed.
look like you could defend yourself from a cat in heat.
I probably could not do that, actually. But
So what makes you think you can protect us from the dangers of the marsh? From the maw? Have you ever been out there? Have you ever seen what I have seen?
Fine. I will be on the road next to you.
No.
Good journey, sir. And I take a few steps to the side and just stand idly and wait for the gate to open. Does he
Shakes his
walk
head.
over to me and start? I mean, does anyone?
He shakes his head, but you see him talking to the armed guards that travel with him, and they all look back at you, and then go back to their work.
I'll give him a wink or something. If anyone comes and
Yeah. You get the
talks to
impression
me,
they're all
though.
just kind of like, oh, fucking bastard thinks he can like ride along our protection.
yeah. But is this an officially sanctioned little merchant?
No, it's all
thing?
kind of up to whatever people say, whatever agreements you can
Yeah.
make.
And this is probably just one of several merchants traveling north, and they've all probably chipped in to hire a couple mercenaries.
Yeah. So the caravan is 8 wagons. One of them is loaded just with people. The others are loaded with supplies, merchant trade stuff. And there are 10 guards surrounding it. 4 of
Hmm.
them have bows, 6 of them have spears and shields. They look like a well regimented team that probably frequents this path a lot. They are led by a hulking, dark skinned man with a massive two-handed spear and no shield. The spear head is an extra like 5 inches wide, and the spear shaft is another 3 feet long. It's just this nasty barbed killing machine that he's got with him. He's also wearing a very thick, heavy half plate, not half plate, but breastplate with metal skirt as well.
Hmm.
All right, the party takes off and
Yeah.
moves towards the maw. How close do you try and keep to the caravan?
I mean, I'm clearly with the caravan, but I'm gonna be. I mean, like, I'll probably be like off to the side. I'll probably be walking at the same pace with them. How big is the road?
The road
Is
is about 10 feet wide to start with.
Okay, so then I will probably be at the front or the rear of the caravan.
All right, well, if you try
I'll be at
and
the front,
move,
so I will walk out the front gate as soon as it opens and slow my pace to match that of the caravan.
how far ahead do you want to be?
None. So basically, I assume they're slower than foot because they have these big heavy wagons that have
Right,
to get pulled out of ruts and stuff occasionally.
right.
So
So
I'm just walking at a nice leisurely pace at the front of the pack, and I
as
slow my
you
pace
walk at the
so
front
that
of the
they don't
pack,
even take me
the big guy shows up, and he
with
bumps
the
you with his
spear.
butt of his spear, and he says, "Hey, if you're not chipping in for protection, you can go off on your own."
Are you anticipating attack? I sort of look him up and down and pay
Yes,
particular emphasis to the spear. What you got out here? Lizard folk?
lizard men, giant
Greenskins?
slugs, all sorts of things. Goblins, orcs, giant spiders, flame scorpions, bats, crocodiles.
I look around. Is it just me and him, or?
The whole caravan has stopped. Like, you guys have stopped to have this conversation.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so
So
everyone is like
he's made it
looking
a
at
point.
you
So
guys. Yeah.
he's made it public,
Very
like
public.
that he's like, you got to pay me.
Yeah.
All right, I am going to hand him. How far away is the nearest person?
15 feet.
So I can't even like whisper a message under my breath.
I mean, you could. If you can say something fairly quietly that someone 15 feet can't hear. Especially like in the middle of the day when there's shit going on and there's other sounds. There's animals mooing and shit.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name, Commander.
I am Bohep.
Bohep. Well, I see how it is. You are mercenary. You have to charge every traveler.
He puts out his
But I
hand.
will be taking a cut of the loot when I save your skins in battle. You should be paying for the company of a wizard on the road.
It's not the first time someone's tried to play the wizard card, young man.
So we're outside the gates of town, right?
But let me put it to you this way. If you
I
do
hand
manage to conjure a fireball and kill something, you're free to take as much of its loot as you would like.
I think I'm just going to abruptly turn and walk away. I was contemplating like handing him less money and trying to whisper that there's no money there. Don't make a scene. Don't be an idiot.
Okay.
But I think I'll just go off. I will still like stay within sight of the caravan. So every time I get to a hill, I look back and make sure. So I don't go at movement rate 12.
Okay.
I make sure they're probably only a couple hundred feet behind me.
All right. You head out into the maw. Dun dun dun. Waif all the sounds of town.
Now I'm really pissed that I waited to go with the caravan actually, because I just spent a ton of money to delay a few days. And this douchebag. Now I kind of just want to steal their shit.
There we go. There's our sound.
So I'm thinking about just turning around and it probably takes more than a day to travel through. So maybe at night, steal their money. I don't know. We'll see if the lizard men hit before I
We'll
get a
see.
chance to take out my frustration on these poor innocent people on the road.
The first 6 hours are uneventful, but the road is different. There's piles of snow going through the forest on either side of the road, and the road it looks like it's been shoveled clean. It's a stone road that goes, weaves through the forest, kind of towards the maw. And once you hit the maw, the road changes. The stone is still there, but it's a different color. It goes from being slightly goldened to slightly bleached or slightly whitened. It looks like it's older stone that's kind of been here a while longer. The ground is also a little bit unsteady, and so what once was a flat road is now kind of like a slanted road. And as you go in for the first hour, the path is mostly there, but it's kind of tilts back and forth here and there. Um,
And off the path, is it
it is
snow
wet.
still, or
No,
is
no.
it liquid water like marsh?
The first 100 feet or so, it's icy. Further in, there's just less and less snow, and once you're 200 feet in, there's no snow whatsoever, and it's kind of marshy. 600 feet in, and it's hot and humid, like you're in Florida. Um, and about after
I
1,000 feet to
I
a
probably
half
removed my
mile,
robe.
yeah, you definitely won't. 1,000 feet to a half mile, you actually see like bubbling, not like boiling, but like stuff like outgassing from under the swamp.
Yeah, a little like hot. I don't know, like not geysers, but like hot springs or something like that. There's some sort
Yeah,
of like natural gas, or
yeah. The
I don't
water
know.
seems to be heated from the inside, and
Yeah,
the wildlife here is loud. It teems. You think you see monkeys in the trees. You definitely see all sorts of birds and strange marsupials hopping through the water. The first 6 hours are fairly uneventful, though. No attacks. Nothing comes across your way that is too difficult or pain in the ass to handle. The caravan stops for a rest and to eat some food. You can stop in 100 or so feet out from them.
I think I actually will keep up. No, I'm gonna wait. I'll stay within a couple hundred feet of them.
Okay.
I'll make sure. Yeah, I'll stay like just. They probably spot me from time to time, like over the crest of the next hill.
Mm-hmm.
But I try and stay a few hundred feet from them if I can.
Okay. The next 4 hours are all more of
Are
the same.
are there hills, or is it just a flat
It's
winding
mostly
path?
flat, but the path winds pretty heavily to stay on solid land. Some areas it goes, like 600 feet to the left and around this area, this bend, just so that it doesn't have to cross like 40 feet of open
So
water.
I'd probably have straight shot to the caravan the entire time, and if I really wanted to risk it, I could go trudging through the swamp.
Yeah. There are a lot of
Beeline.
trees here. They're mostly like old, broken down trees around the path. Seems like occasionally someone will come through and burn trees because there's a lot of burnt trees very near the road. But beyond that, none of the trees seem to be burnt. Some are have dead leaves and are just barren husks pointing out all over the place. Others are fully, not furnished, but fully leaved willows draping down. Line of sight within the swamp off the road is pretty limited, maybe 150 feet before it gets
Oh,
just
really?
too much. Yeah,
Is it mist, or is it just the
just
terrain?
too much foliage and stuff.
Okay.
You'll go through areas where you can see for hundreds of feet, but most of the time it's pretty dense
Okay.
jungle swamp. As you are walking down the road, though, somewhere late in the afternoon, give me a perception check.
30.
Oh wow, super solid. You see up ahead the eyes of some sort of reptilian creature in the swamp. But with the 30, not only do you see that it's some sort of reptilian creature in the swamp, like eyes above looking at you, it is some sort of reptilian humanoid creature in the swamp, trying to blend in underwater.
Underwater.
Yes,
Okay.
it's you can see its eyes popping up, but you can also notice that there's like a foot ever so slightly out of the water, and you can make out just the base the reflection of some sort of lizard man, lizard folk, lizard guy.
Do I only see one? I'm going to sort of stop and try and see if I can spot any companions. How far off is he?
He is 30 feet from you right now.
Oh, wow.
You
I'm going
do
to actually start backing up then.
okay, you do spot another one as well. That one is 30 feet beyond him and on the other side of the river, or on the other side of the road.
Okay.
So you start just backing up.
Yeah.
Damn it, where did that d20 go? No. Okay. The lizard creature doesn't seem to react to that. It just stays still.
You did not add magic missile to my list, by the
I
way.
thought I did. I can do it again if I haven't.
All right, so at third level, I do get 2 magic missiles.
Okay. Now add it to your list.
Yeah. Mm.
So what do you have memorized right now?
Same thing. Change self, magic missile, and Hall's Reckless Dreamer, Harung's Baneful Deflector, and web. Um,
Hmm. What do
do
you
they
do?
have? Mm, let's try out web on the buggers.
Okay, so you start chanting a spell.
Yeah,
How far away do you back up before you cast
I'm
it?
probably going to back up to the edge of my range.
Which is
Web
5 yards
is.
per level.
Oh, that's not very far.
No, so
But I guess let me roll my wild surge. Oh, are there any material components for that? There are. A bit of spider web. Fuck, I can't cast web.
I mean, if you learned web a while ago, you could have easily gathered a bit of spider web in the day that you killed it, waiting for the.
Okay.
That's
Right.
such a minor component.
Okay. All right. D20 on the wild surge, 19. So it's a bonus couple of levels.
It's a bonus 1 level. Yeah.
I would have probably positioned myself 15 yards from them and tried to cast it.
Yep.
So 45. So I would have only backed up 15 feet. When I
Right.
spotted them.
The web collapsing. Okay, so the
So
web
it's
goes off and it like goes right over the
8
first.
10 by 10 cubes. So it just like envelops them.
Yeah,
It's
actually, give
probably
me
the-
initiative roll because as you start to cast a spell, they react. We can keep the results, but
What if I go after them?
well, I don't think you will because they just rolled a 16 on their initiative.
What if they had? Would they have interrupted the spell? Is that what you're
I
saying?
don't know. We would have figured it out, but they
Okay.
might have interrupted the spell.
All right, so I go. That goes off before. When it is cast, they get a saving throw versus spell at -2 penalty.
That is a fail. So one of them immediately hops out of the water as your web spell goes off, and he gets stuck in the web, his belly dangling in the water. The other one gets up, starts running towards you, sees the web, and I think
The web is on them. They get a saving throw to be stuck.
What's
to resist.
what's the area of the web? Because they were
10
30
by
feet
10.
apart.
It's plenty of web.
Oh, 8, 10
covers
by
a
10.
maximum area of 8 10 by 10 by 10 cubes.
Oh fuck.
And the webs must be at least 10 feet thick, so a mass of 40 feet high and 20 feet wide. So basically, you get 8 10
Oh
by
yeah.
10 by 10
Okay.
cubes.
So the other
So
one.
I just there's just a huge. I mean, it's probably covering half the path.
Yeah.
It's just like
No, they both get caught in the web. It just sticks to all the trees and all the foliage and the ground, and they are both stuck in the web. The what's his name? Bohep and one of his bowmen jog towards you.
I try. So hopefully they're on just the outside edge of the web, so that they may be
Mm-hmm.
within range.
Right.
Because I guess it says missile spells are generally ineffective. A magical flaming sword can slash them away easily. Huh. So they're both just stuck in the web.
Mm-hmm.
All creatures within a flaming web suffer 2d4 points of damage. It's like they designed all of these spells with my magical flaming sword in mind.
So Bohep and one of his guards start jogging towards you.
They're probably a few rounds off, though.
No,
Right?
they're 100
maybe one
feet,
round.
which is
Okay.
a single round. Yeah. They start jogging towards you
Okay,
at the end of the round, and you go first next one.
Well, I guess all my spells are just things to set on fire with a flaming sword, aren't they?
At this point,
Yeah. Are the lizard men able to make missile attacks
No,
from within the web?
no, no, no.
They failed, so they're just stuck. Creatures, but if they have more than 13 strength, they can move 1 foot per round. So they're just they're just struggling.
Yeah.
All right. As the guys are running towards me, fuck it. These are my lizard men. I'm gonna draw my flaming sword and start hacking my way through the web towards them. I'm just gonna set. I mean, like, I'd probably ignite the web with a swipe of my flaming sword.
Yeah, it's pretty
Watch it go
easy.
up
I
in
mean,
flame.
you can hack through it, which will cut it away, or you can like set the sword next to it and catch it on fire because the
I
flames will
sort
take
of
a moment to do
Yeah.
that.
I start hacking my way towards the lizard men and just see this web going up in flames. Probably
You
take a step back as I watch them burn.
they struggle and struggle in the web, but it doesn't seem to do anything. Their eyes go wide with terror as the
2d4
flames
points.
reach towards them, and they cry out, "Ah!"
So it looks like just a straight 2d4.
Yeah, they take 2d4 damage as they start to
Only
char.
5.
Ooh,
Can
what
I
is
get...
Lizard Man HP?
They're going to survive. So tell me how they're looking after that. And then I think I'm going to send a magic missile at each of them. I have to burn through. Hopefully this will convince the caravan that I'm useful to keep around.
How much damage did you do? 5?
5.
The one of them, the one closest to you, burns to death. His charred
Okay.
corpse floats in the water. The other one lives and just immediately like starts to submerge as the flames eat the web up, and he just flops into the water. He doesn't get a chance to do anything that turn. I'm going to say because he's stunned and putting himself out, but he's in the water. And roll initiative.
Can I cut my way through? I mean, I still haven't made an action this second round. Or is it still the first round?
This is still the first round.
Okay, so the web doesn't even exist for more than like a couple of seconds.
Oh, no. So this would be the second round. Yeah.
So I haven't actually made an action besides
hacking through the
drawing.
web is. I guess you can easily
So I
do
can't.
it.
Can I make an attack against the lizard man at the end of the round?
Yeah, if he's only 60 feet away and you can move 120 yards in a round, that's not that
is the
bad.
swamp? I mean, can I actually move through the swamp?
Well, I mean, you burned the
Just
web,
off the edge?
so the web doesn't. You can walk through the previous web space.
Is the swamp though? Is the swamp difficult terrain?
No. Well, yeah, but he's very near to the path, so it's not a pain.
I think
You
I missed,
plunge
though.
your
So
sword
8.
towards him, but he's kind of underwater, and you miss. And we roll initiative for next round.
All right, I'm gonna try backing up. Do I even see the lizard man?
Yeah. He's in the water directly in front of you right now. He can hide.
Shorts are
next
2 or
round.
3.
3.
3. Oops, that should be a 3. Not 7 initiative.
You go first.
I'll slash wildly and back up.
Give me a
Onto
roll
the
to
path.
hit.
13. So if there's a
13
lizard
is a
man in the
strike.
water,
Give
So I
me
do-
a roll for damage.
huh?
D8. No,
D6?
short sword, D6.
Unless he's large.
No. Nope.
3 plus any magic plus any fire.
You skewer the lizard man on the tip of your sword, and
Mm-hmm.
his body bobs to the surface. You look around
try
to
and
see
quickly sheathe my
Bohep
sword
and his
before-
guard
Before he reaches
standing
me.
behind you. He's just standing like 30 feet off, watching. Bohep's hands on his hips. The guard has his longbow drawn and notched, but not doing anything.
Mercenary, not guard.
Guard,
Important
mercenary.
He's not wearing the red and green
No.
of this.
Well, he's guarding the caravan.
They may stay apprised to. There's not a bounty on my head yet. It'll probably be a few days before they send word out.
Bohep cocks his head to the side and said,
So my sword is sheathed by the time they're getting here, but they probably saw some fireworks and
"Yeah, I mean they got here
I'm
last
moving.
round.
yeah.
They just didn't
they
do.
did.
They just didn't take an action. Yeah, they let you. Do
Okay,
your
so they like sprinted to catch up with me, and then watched me just like shish kebab this lizard man.
Yeah.
And I look back, I sheathe my sword, putting out the flames. And
Well,
I start to
maybe you-
loot the corpses and like I try my best to ignore that I've noticed they're now here.
maybe you are useful after all. Sorry
Did the
for
lizard
doubting
man-
you.
Did the lizardmen carry equipment, or
They had spears, and other than that, they were naked.
they were naked? These guys didn't
Naked.
have any cash.
Naked as the day they were born.
Excuse me, boys. If you are going to be taking advantage of my protection, I'm going to have to ask you to pay a fee. Otherwise, I would ask that you make your own way through the swamp.
Bohep gives a hearty laugh and says, "Well played, well played. You can travel with us if you'd like."
I give him a smile and a nod. I say, I'll wait for you boys to catch up. And I
Okay.
sort of kick the lizard. If the lizard man is not entirely submerged, I'll sort of kick him back
He
out to the swamp
bobs away and floats away slowly.
and wait for the caravan.
The caravan
Most of them
catches up
probably didn't see the flaming sword and all that, but they probably did see a huge burst of
of fire
flame
as
as the
like
web
there's
went up.
webs and then the webs are on fire and it's just what the fuck. Yeah. So you guys make it to nightfall and you find a what seems to be a well-used spot for camping. There's a whole bunch of burned fires just like lying about. They seem like months old, probably weeks old. This area is a large, wide spot in the ground on the path, and they pull up the wagons in groups of threes, and everyone kind of sits around and makes a bunch of campfires and sets up. The the mercenaries set up watches, one person on either side of the caravan at any given time, and all of the other people may rest for the night, although they are encouraged to stay up and watch as well.
Yeah, I'll probably stay up late and get up early and memorize spells, but I make sure I get enough sleep to recover my arcane abilities. Um, I probably keep to myself. I don't know. I mean, I'll chit chat with the mercenaries, but I don't know. My guess is the merchants are probably not too pleased to see me camping with them.
Word spreads through pretty quickly that you are a spellcaster, a wizard who created a fireball that exploded two lizard men, and then you burst out with a flaming sword to kill another. The story gets a little
Again,
distorted, but
sure,
pretty
I'll
soon
take
you
it.
are welcomed with open arms.
Okay, take what I can get.
Yeah. Okay. That night, people are on watch. At what point of night are you awake?
Probably just for the first watch and I mean, I don't take an official watch. I mean, it
Okay.
sounded like they organized watches without me, but I will stay up late. So if it's the first watch, I may catch some of it,
Okay.
and
Now,
then I'll probably rest up, and then I'll wake up and memorize spells. So I may
okay.
catch some of the end
You
of
are
it.
sound asleep when you are awakened by a "To arms! To arms!"
All right. I sit up quickly, and is there light from the fire?
There is. There are four fires. One on the road to the north, one on the road to the south, one to the east, and one to the west, like in the cardinal
Okay,
directions. And on
nice.
top of that, two guards have torches lit while the rest of them are going for torches.
All
The
right.
lead guard,
I jump to my feet and look around.
the lead guard, Bohep, points to the road to the north and says, "Atiug, Atiug," and
Does this
in
does
front
this
of
mean
you,
anything to me?
in front of you shifts a a heap of flesh and claws and spikes and eyes. Is this weird mound, maybe like 6 feet high, 3 or 4 feet wide, with these three tentacles coming off of it. One of them has eyes all over it. The other two have long paths with spikes coming off of it. It's got legs that stick out, but it has no actual face or semblance. It's just like a quivering mass of flesh with claws that come forward and rake it in your direction.
That's what she said.
And before we roll
Yeah.
initiative, we should either take a break or end our stream.
Are you trying to get to bed?
No,
Let's. I think we should do battle with, or yeah,
an
let's finish the
Atiog.
battle before
Okay.
wrapping up the session, right?
Yeah, let's take our break and
Yeah.
we'll see you
Roll initiative
guys
back.
when we're back. Bye bye.